Hello guys, I'm back again. I am getting ready to create some books. I finally decorated, well actually I have one that I haven't finished, but I didn't feel like doing a lot of decorating today. I wanted to actually make some books. So a couple of people asked me if I would do a tutorial on how I do my paper bag journals, like this one. I think they meant this one. But I figured I'd do one to show everybody. And actually, I am going to be using these baggies. These baggies I got from Patricia. Oh my God, what's her last name? We did a swap and she gave me these baggies with stuff in it. Oh, I can't believe I forgot her last name. How sad is that? Anyways, I'll remember. It'll come to me. But anyway, she gave me a bunch of these little baggies, and I wanted to use them to make a book. So, give me a second, guys. I also these are the ones I use for my books, and these are from A Tattered Dream from Denise's shop, and I think they're the same size. Yeah, they are. Just the images are different. But anyways, I just wrote here that once you fold it, it comes into a 4.5 by 6. When you fold them in half. But hopefully we don't get no interruptions from my son. But the first thing we do is you want to fold this little flap just to get it out of the way. And then I just pop it inside the little envelope, just so it's not on the way. And then you're going to need your paper trimmer. And you got to open up the other end. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to tucks on both sides, then you do want to cut it in just a little sliver, enough to open the end. So I go as close as I can to the edge. Make sure I got the right end. Uh-oh. Yep, it moved. Okay, so once you do that, excuse me, we'll move this trimmer to the side. So then we fold them in half, so we know where our binding will be. And I'm going to do this just from scratch, the way I start. I know I'm not going to be able to complete the whole journal in one take, so I guess I'm just going to do a video and putting it together, and then I'll make another video decorating, but I'll probably put it on, I guess you speed up the process so it won't be so long, and hopefully I can do it in 2 takes. But if anything, it will be 3, but I don't think it'll be more than that. But anyways, after this, you're going to need some of this stuff. I got this from the post office. I'm not telling anybody to go take some, but I know they sell, I guess, a roll or something. I think I've heard on some of the YouTube videos, so I need to look into that. But I got on a Happy Mail, somebody sent me some of these, and I picked them up also on the post office. This is very sturdy. Toe back is very, very sturdy, so I like to put that in the end of my little binding. So what I do is just open it up, and I'm just going to go through it and cut the edges. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my husband's playing with my son and he's just giggling away. So I apologize in advance, but when you have kids, it's kind of hard to find some quiet time. So then we're left with this. So I'll put one away. Actually, I'll keep this one. So then I cut some strips. And I don't really measure it. I just go by, just eyeball it. Just make a bunch of strips for it, which I'm not going to use all this for these 2 books. But I also thought I'd include a couple of regular paperback ones, so you guys could see those too. Which I'm talking about these bags. Which this one I coffee dyed, and then I have this one that's a little bit bigger. I think this is 10 3/4 by 5, and I didn't measure this one. Oh yeah, I did. 6 1/4 by 13. Then I have an even bigger one, but I actually had 2, and I already kind of cut them in half. But all I did was just take this piece off, cut it off. And I'm going to go ahead and just paper trim it up over here. I'll probably just, you know, decorate one of them. I'm not sure which one, but all I do is just go to this fold, cut that off, and then the end here to take that little cut there. And then you're just left with this. And then it depends on the size that you want to make it, and if you want to make pockets. I normally like to, actually I'll do this side, I like to create a little pocket in the back. Bone folder, bone folder, bone folder. There we go. So I think one pocket in the front, and then I just take this to the edge. Just pull that, oh, almost a little bit bigger, a little bit taller. But you can make them out of the, if you don't have those pockets, you can just get yourself a little sandwich bag. You could also do it with this kind. And then I already did this big one. This one, I don't even know. I think it was a 16 by, oh yes I did. 16 by 8 and 1/8. So I just folded a piece. I didn't measure it, and then just folded it, and that gave me this pocket. Well, this cover, and this is a 5 1/4 by a little bit over 8. So, and they're all pretty much the same process. The only difference is like on these, to put this toe back, you see this crease here. So I'll take my scissors, if I could find them, because I was working on some other stuff right now, and I'll just cut this piece. And don't worry about cutting straight. We're not going to use that part. So then you get your little strap. Oh, this one, that one has the lid. And then you just measure it. So, do I measure it? And for this, I like to use the wet glue. So I'm just gonna go and do this. You just glue that down. And then we still have our piece over here, so we're going to leave that folded in and just close it. Now either you can use glue to glue this back, or you could sew it, which I want to sew this one. So I don't really care for these little flaps inside. But another way of doing it is to not cut the bag and then just, it's just kind of hard because you got to stick your hand in there and try to arrange it. It's a little more challenging, but it works too. But this one, since I'm going to sew it, I cut the end. And then this is going to serve as my pocket. So that's how you do a paper bag. For these, we're going to have to do it that way. You could also cut the edge if you plan on sewing it, but if you don't, then you're just going to have to struggle a bit. So I'm going to say about there. Now, if like when I'm using a paper bag like this, if I know I'm going to cover the inside of my pocket, or I'm going to put a paper that goes around, then you don't even have to struggle excuse me, in trying to put it through the inside. You can just pop this baby like this, and you know, if you're going to cover it, just do that. You could also put it in through the inside. It's really up to you. If you want to do it on the inside because you want the edges to show, that's really up, whatever type of book or however you're going to do it. In this case, because this one is decorated, I don't want to cover it from either side, so I'm going to have to struggle. And all you have to do is just open the baggie, grab your glue, and you only put the glue from one side, because you're gonna stick things in there to your pocket. So you just wanna put some glue. You can use tape as well. I just like glue because it's this sucker's strong. And then all I do is, okay, here's where you get to struggle a bit, but you're going to try to put it right in the center. So wish me luck, guys. And you're going to get glue all over your hands. That's normal, see? But I think I got it. Yes, I got it. But yeah, it's a little messy step, but it's not too bad. So then once you do that, I want to do more, but I'm just going to do one for today. Then you, I guess you should copy dye your paper first, right? Before you start this process. So once you have all that ready, which I do, here's my paper. You're going to put these to the side real quick. You're going to grab your paper. And you're going to fold it in half. Now, I don't want my pages to be right to the edge. I want them to stick out a little bit. I kind of like that messy look. So I'm going to leave a piece, trim a piece off. So in this case, I said, what was it? 6. So then my paper, I'm going to cut it by, maybe a 1/4 inch out on each side. So I'm going to cut it 6 1/2. And then I'm going to come back and look. Yeah, I like that. I want it to stick out. That's how I did my other little books. I think that looks more grungy. Now on this side, we don't want to do that. I mean, you can, But I don't know. Hold on. Do I want to? I usually cut it not to stick out. Let me see real quick. I'm sure it doesn't look bad. I might try this one that way. Usually I cut them where the pages are inside. But actually, oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to leave it out this time. So yeah. So then, excuse me, I usually put about, well, it depends on how many pages. Usually I put like 10 pages. Sometimes I put less. It depends on what I want, my mood. Also, you can add other type of paper, not just copy paper. I brought this that I had found it at a thrift store. And I wanted to steal some pages out of this. I'm just going to tear it. And again, I'm going to fold it in half. Actually, no, I'm not going to fold it in half. I'm going to cut this in half. My mind just works as I go. I don't always do everything 100% the same. Okay, so this is 12. I end up changing stuff as I go. Sometimes it's... Okay, so I have 2 pieces now. And what I want to do instead is fold them in half. And these will be 2 of my pages. And I'm not going to worry about the tear because I actually want to tear a little more on the book. Just because I like that look. So I have these 2. This. You could add your doilies. You can add your glassine bags. Whatever you want to add to it. Some, what do you call that other paper? Which I don't know where I put mine, but some ledger paper. Which that's what I forgot to grab. I'm just trying to put everything that I was going to use close to me. But I don't think I got that part. But that's 4. This one, so that's 5. 6. What did I do with the ledger paper? Wait a second. Let me see if I have it on this. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's kind of hiding. And these, they sell them at like Office Depot or Staples. I found these at a thrift store. So this one, I think I'm going to fold it in half. Kind of the same as this. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put all those folded papers in there. But there was, what did I do? Oh, here it is. A paper bag, too. Only because I like to have little tucks everywhere. I want to add one of these. So I'm not going to add any doilies to this one. Oh, I got the edge. Just fold it in half. Sorry guys, I don't think it was a frame, but I'm just holding the little baggie. Okay, so now I'm going to cut these to size. So we said 6.5. And I didn't measure the other one. Where's the one that I already cut? No, this way. Not this way. It's 4 3/4. Like I said, I don't, you know, they're not gonna be even once you fold them. They start, well, I'll show you once I get to that part, I guess. I'm jumping ahead. Okay, so let me see how many I have. So, I got glue all over my hands. So I'm going to say this one. And then I want to add one of these. These are a little bit shorter and I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to add one of these. I'm going to add my paper bag. And then another one of these. And then my ledger paper. And then one of these. And I guess, yeah, this way. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I need one more. I want a regular clear one in the center. So 6.5. And I'm going to cut this just a little bit shorter, only because this is my middle. So see, the pages won't be even, but I'm not going to care because I plan on tearing some of them at the end. But you can trim them once you have them sewed into your book. Now, the reason why I don't really like to use a lot of pages is because I like to use my sewing machine to stitch it. I kind of like that. They just stay in tighter. But that's why I don't put a lot of, which I already have a lot. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 pages. I think it should be fine. And so then you figure out if you want this little flap to be on the front or the back too before you start binding your book too. And then I grab these little clip things. And that's what I use to hold my pages together for when I start sewing. And sometimes I clip them and it's so easy, and sometimes I struggle. So there they go. So once I have this, I take it to the sewing machine. And that's what I'm going to do right now. But I think I should pause for you guys. Or maybe I could just speed the process when I do that. So, okay, I'm going to go to my sewing machine real quick. Give me a quick second. It shouldn't take long. I can't bring you guys with me. So, let's see. Okay, so here you go. This is what you have. So now I could take these little clips, and sometimes my stitching doesn't come out right in the center. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not what do you call it? A professional sewer. I taught myself sewer. But, you know, even if it's not all that straight, you know, it's okay. As long as it closes, and see it closes just fine. But, yeah, sometimes it's a little bit wiggly there, but it's okay. That's the whole, that helps the grunginess. So if you guys don't get a straight line, that's okay. Don't worry about it. But then again, you could also do that. I don't know the name of it, but you know which one I'm talking about, where you sew in where you sew in the signatures. Excuse me. So then once you have this, then like I said, you start figuring, like this pocket that has this little flap, I want it in the back. So I'm going to turn it that way. And I guess you start decorating from here. I'm going to go ahead and create my other ones. But then I'm going to create part 2 showing you how I decorate these books. But that's pretty much how the process, just to put the book together. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in part 2. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.